Now at 5, we continue our back-to-school coverage with a look at how one local school district is making a big change when it comes to disciplining students.
And instead of suspending students for minor infractions, Pawtucket schools are trying something else this year. Eyewitness News reporter Steve Nielsen explains, new at 5.
Well, nobody wants to already talk about kids getting into trouble at school. It's just beginning to get underway. But in Pawtucket, they're focusing on exactly that, completely overhauling suspensions there. The goal is to keep kids in school and not at home. It's back to school in Pawtucket. Students began the year Tuesday, ready for another year of learning in the district. And parents likely want to know how the new suspension mandate's going. Pawtucket Superintendent Patty DeCenso says 2 years ago, the suspension rates were sky high. DeCenso says principals complained about a lack of options for misbehaving kids.
The only thing they had was send the kid home, send the child home. So what we did was we said, okay, you're right. Of course you don't.
So she dived into it and came up with the new mandate.
We had some significant suspension rates from elementary, middle as well. And I started to investigate those and I made a decision that we're not going to suspend anymore.
It was a learning process, and last year upgrades were made. Instead of suspending, every school now has a social worker to help when kids misbehave. And there's also 8 behavior technicians hired by the district. Ultimately, suspensions would still be necessary, though, in extreme cases. But now, instead of sending them home, they get sent to district headquarters.
Even if it is something serious, we may remove them from the building for 3 days. Instead of suspending them. But those 3 days, they're with a highly qualified teacher and they're learning.
She says it's been a success. And the data shows that the suspension rate in the Pawtucket School District for middle and high schools is significantly lower now than the statewide rate. I'm Steve Nielsen, Eyewitness News.